So, good evening. Good evening. I am back in the land of living today. Apologies to anyone who struggled watching the player ratings. I don't even remember getting home. It was mad. So, apologies to you two as well, because you had to kind of wing that player ratings. So, yeah, that won't happen again.
No, it's good fun, man.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, well, it won't when I look back at it today.
Apparently, I've upset some because apparently when I big up this show, apparently I'm butthurt about my treatment on a certain fan cam when I've never had really beef for that fan cam, and I was talking about other shows in general. That it seems that a lot of people, who are desperate to get their views, don't get a chance to go on all the shows, not just the massive fan cam. So, for your information, I've got no beef with them. I left on my own terms, and I like to have a laugh and a joke about all the other shows because I want to big up the show that I enjoy the most. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a bit of laugh. Calm down, mate, whoever you are.
Yeah,
I ain't butthurt about it at all.
Festive season. It's the season to be jolly.
Yeah.
We should be jolly.
Lee, I'll tell you, man. Last night was classic. I fucking mate. I was wetting myself because when Kenny and I were like, when you went off stream, Kenny and I were like just like chatting amongst ourselves.
Oh yeah.
It was like, oh well, okay, see you later, Lee. You got to bed. Come out. Kenny and I just talk about what we talk about. Mate, I tell you what, I thought it was so fun, honestly.
It definitely. I
was feeling a little bit today. I don't normally do hangovers, to be fair, but today I had some food and I felt rough as soon as I ate it. And I was like, I'm just getting to lay on the side. I've been laying on the sofa all day just watching the footy, watch the boxing back. Because obviously that was the reason I went out for an hour or so. And I can't remember any of it.
It's my fault, isn't it? It's my fault because I coached you to watch the boxing.
Well, to be fair, I just wanted to see Chisora get knocked out, and that didn't happen. But at least he didn't win. But yeah, I've watched a couple of. I watched that back, and then I watched a couple of games today as well. Watched the highlights back of our game. How good's Martinelli, by the way? Jesus Christ, he's just unreal, absolutely unreal. Big up to everybody watching as well, man. There's 250 people here already, so smash the likes up. For some reason, it wouldn't let me stream it on Facebook. Like I had to reconnect my Facebook from StreamYard or vice versa. So apologies to anyone who did want to watch it on Facebook. That'll be sorted by hopefully the middle of the week. I think they put you on a little block when you failed to load after preloading it, if that makes sense. So I think they put you on a little block for streaming on there for 3 days. So I can still post. I just can't stream on there for a minute. But let's talk about Martinelli, Jez. I've seen a few people on other channels saying that this is a masterstroke from the manager. The way of his development of the player is Foden-esque, and that he's had a big injury. He is only 20, and the way we've manipulated him in and out of the team slowly is the key to this guy's success. And now he's planning his game better. His game management himself as a player has got better. Blah de blah de blah. What do you think, mate? Do you think he's just a quality player and we got lucky that he got in the team because Saka got injured against Newcastle, or is it that Arteta's a genius?
Right, let's get it right. Arteta is not a genius. Arteta is a fucking prick. He brought Martinelli in because he had to bring Martinelli in, and we all know the class of Martinelli, and it's about time he's been given his chance and he's proven it. And fair play to that boy. He's taken this situation, grasped it with two hands, and basically said to Arteta, stick it up your fucking arse, you complete prick, because I'm better than you think I am. You pissed me off, and I'm going to show you how fucking good I am. And he's doing it. And fucking fair play to that boy. I'll tell you what, because he deserves every ounce of success that he brings. And I tell you, I swear to God, this boy is going to be outstanding in his career. He's proven it. Honestly, I'll tell you what, I've seen him score now 2 goals that are so Omri-esque. And I don't care what anybody says. I really don't care. You can say to me whatever you like. This boy is going to be world class. He has it. And Arteta, thank you for watching what we say, because at least you're now starting to realise that us three here actually know what the fuck we're talking about. Because you, mate, don't claim that you have improved him. You haven't. You've ruined so many good players at Arsenal that I hope to God you don't ruin this boy, because he is fucking quality.
Yes. No, he is. No, well said, mate. Listen, at the end of the day,
mate.
If you it's funny, and I know you're only doing it in jest when you say that he obviously listens to us and that, right? But we cried out for.
Honestly, I'm expecting a tweet from him on Instagram. Honestly, I think he's going to send me a message saying, "Happy Christmas, Jez. Thanks for your advice."
Yeah. Do you want a job? Do you want a job at Colney?
Yeah. I'd fuck him up and kick the shit out of him.
It wouldn't surprise me because we've been crying out for Smith Rowe to add goals. He's now added goals. We've been crying out for Martin Odegaard to get into a penalty box. He's been doing that and scoring. We've been crying out for Martinelli to play. He plays and scores goals. We've been crying out for the team to attack more. We're now attacking more. Like, maybe we should be the managers. I don't know. What did you make of his performance yesterday, Kenny?
I thought it was fantastic because what's happening? He showed hunger. He shows confidence. And you know what happens? It's continuity of games. You give the guy continuity. From when he took his chance against Newcastle, he hasn't looked back. He's basically said to his manager, "You can't leave me out, even if we're losing games. I'm maintaining my standards. I'm working hard. I'm doing what you want me to do. I'm making myself available off the ball so we keep our shape. And when I'm getting the ball in the penalty area, I'm making things happen, which is what he always threatened to do when he first came to the side. And he just took his chance with vigour. But once again, you have the same sort of people who are in different podcasts or on Twitter. Just because they speak clearly and because everyone hangs on to every word, they make it up as they go along about how Arteta had had his plan and he was trying to sort out his development, and it takes time with getting the use and getting the process and learning the game. Do me a favour, man. Before Newcastle, we were complaining the fact that he was so far down the pecking order because after Brentford, he was one of the casualties of Arteta that got dropped. That we didn't really Arteta didn't really rate, and Balogun's now in that situation. Supposing if Balogun gets his chance to start scoring, are they going to now say, "Oh, always in the plan"? Mikel always had it up his sleeve to get these guys acclimatised to the way we play and get them, like I said, integrated into the squad, learn the game. Rubbish, mate. A lot of things have happened for Mikel, especially youngsters, through pure circumstances. And like Chris Smith Rowe, COVID last year, got his chance when the first choice, weren't available for Chelsea. He took his chance. That is luck. The same thing with we're having now with Martinelli. He's come on. It's a consequence of Aubameyang not being part of the first team anymore because of loss of form at first, and then obviously behind the scenes things. So again, Mikel's got extremely fortunate with those two occurrences, but that's no, like how I say it, no consequence of him being a good coach. He's a lucky coach, but then again, I suppose the good ones are lucky. But trust me, he's not a good coach. He's just negotiated 3 easy games which became even easier when these teams were depleted. But you know what? You have to be positive and you have to say, right, Martinelli, excellent. Took his chance, where he had a lot of space and he showed us what he was made of. So you've got to give Martinelli a lot of credit. Long may it continue, because we're going to need to see more of Martinelli and see another aspect of his character, because obviously we're going to play a full strength Wolves, Man City, and then after that Tottenham away. And it's games like Tottenham away, West Ham away, Chelsea away, and obviously home games against United, City and Liverpool, where we're going to learn a lot about this team, about how really good they are, especially our youngsters. And I think that's where, we are going to judge Mikel, because at the end of the day, you can't say, oh yeah, give him a bit of time, it's a process, because we're now in the top 4. Everyone, if you look at other channels, are saying, yeah, this is realistic if this happens, although majority of people are just tempering it down because other teams have got games in hand. But we'll learn a lot more about these players. You know, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, you know, Odegaard and Saka in the second half of the season when we got in the business end of the season. But you know what? If they come through this, we're going to be having goodies for a good few years because we've got something to build on.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, the only thing I disagree with what you said was 3 easy games. West Ham wasn't an easy game.
I hear you. I bet I think on paper it became a
we
bit
got
easier.
their injury list. And then
yeah,
we see what they had.
I think I need to sort of rephrase that a bit.
No, I ain't having a dig. I'm just saying.
No. What I'm trying to say, rephrase it. On paper, if you look at West Ham's position and the games they've played, you know, it became an easier game because, you know, their first choice centre halves, Bonner and Kurt Zuma, weren't available. And obviously Creswell gives them a bit of presence. And then Southampton, you know, not having Shea Adams and not having their full strength goalkeepers did help us a bit. And Leeds were completely decimated. But you know what? It's a it's a bastard world. Dog eat dog. You've got to say, who gives a damn? It's a good opportunity. Let's get now 9 points. And we duly delivered them. And we scored loads of goals as well. So, you know, brownie points for everyone concerned in the football side of the club. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to feel sorry for us if we were in the same position. They'll take us out, and we took these teams out.
Exactly. 100%.
Well said, Kenny. Well said.
On Martinelli, I do remember that all of these journalists that are cuddled up with the club were all saying that the reason he wasn't playing, because he has been fit for a year, by the way, Martinelli. He was fit in December last year because he actually scored against Chelsea.
Yeah.
And or was that the year before? Either way, he's been fit for a year, right? He's been fit for a whole year. He came back into the team, got a minor little knock, and then he was out for a couple of games. Then he came back in again, right? And I remember these journalists putting out a video on their social medias of Martinelli slapping shots in training from the striker position. And they were saying, Mikel Arteta is converting him into a striker. You remember that crap, right? Well, how comes every time he's played left wing under Arteta since then? Literally every game he's played that he's come on, he's come on and he's started off or he's started the game as a left winger ever since. Yeah, so that was a load of rubbish. Martinelli is a striker, but Martinelli's very good at dribbling, so he can play on the wing, right? And not only that, he's a pest. He's so much like Alexis or Suarez or somebody of that ilk that you can't like relax when he's around. Like, if you're a defender, he must be a nightmare to mark, man, or play against, because even if you get the ball and you jog off 20 yards, you know he's coming to get you, and he's back up and he's chasing after you. And if we had 11 players like him with the technical ability, the hunger, the determination, we wouldn't be sitting here moaning at all, ever, because we'd be in a title race every year. Yeah, and that's why we get the ump with it, because we have had this kid on the bench. And it's not a masterstroke from this manager. Like you said, Saka got injured. He didn't want to bring Pepe on. So I think Eddie was already on the pitch, wasn't he? I think so. I may be wrong against Newcastle. Maybe I'm wrong. But either way, he didn't want to bring Pepe on. So then the obvious answer was to bring Martinelli on. Martinelli scored within 2 minutes. Then he scores again. Then he scores 2 last night. And it's like, now he's undroppable. And the funny thing is obviously, like 3 games ago or whatever it was, we lost to Everton. And everyone was saying it was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's the end of Arteta. He's got to go. He's finished. He's not good enough. They're not playing for him. And then we beat Southampton. We beat Newcastle. Sorry, West Ham. And we beat Leeds. We beat Leeds. And all of a sudden, we're 4th in the table and it's all looking rosy. But this is why I find it funny. Yeah, great. We're sat 4th in the table halfway through the year, right? Halfway through the season. But we're there because games have been called off left, right, and centre. Yeah.
Do you see, Lee, that the fucking classic? I didn't watch the interview. I just saw it on YouTube. Some absolute fucking nonce on interviewed by AFTV says 4th is a trophy. Well, my friend,
I saw that title. Someone showed my brother showed me that title.
Yeah.
No, I think not my brother. I think a friend of mine showed me that title. Went, I didn't watch the video because I think if you,
I didn't watch it.
It's not a dig. It's not a dig. I think what's happening is that I think when you watch so many of the fan cams on the channel, you kind of know what's going to be said. You can't, because these characters are kind of like predictable in what they're going to say. And I think what it was is that, and in their defence, sometimes the titles are misgivings.
Titles don't actually, it's not what they've said.
Because I think what's happening is that I think we've all, me and you, have had issues with the titles that have been put in front of us, and we think, hang on here, we never said that.
Yeah,
I remember going on their show last year, and I praised a Newcastle player, even though we won 2-0, and they said that the Newcastle player, I said the Newcastle player's man in the match, and I got blasted. I went, hang on here. I just said that he played well and that he did well, but we at the end of the day we were the winners, and we did well to sort of come from behind to win the game, and that's all I said. But the titles on that channel are let's just say horrendous, because sometimes it is a reflection of what the people say. Other times it's just there to get views, and basically to for whoever says those things, it gives detractors carte blanche to throw fruit and eggs at them and tomatoes, because at the end of the day, the people who watch the fan cams are a bunch of wazzocks and pork chops who don't actually like football. They just look at it to talk about someone's appearance or to say a few things. There's the odd football fan in there, but mostly it's pork chops in there. And I say that with great respect, because some of the comments in there are horrendous. And
Can I just make?
Oh yeah, no, they are. A lot of the comments are a disgrace, mate. I can't lie.
Can I just make a comment as well? Right, I watch every single fan cam that you do, Lee, and I watch every single, even if I'm not on them, I watch every single show you do. Now, can I just put this out there, that some people need to shut their fucking mouths, because there's people that come in this chat who have never, ever, fucking ever been to a football game at Arsenal in their lives, and you need to shut the fuck up, because you know fuck all about football, and you know fuck all about me, Lee, Kenny, and other people in the fan cams, because all we do is give an honest, straight opinion, unbiased. Well, maybe I am, but but at the end of the day, shut the fuck up, you little mug, because you know fuck all. And when you've been to an Arsenal game, at home or away, and you guys know who I'm talking about, shut the fuck up and piss off, because you know fuck all. You don't even probably live in this country, yet you think the history of this club, and you don't know fuck all. To fuck off, or I'm pissed off with it, because Lee puts in hours and hours of work. Kenny's been to thousands of games. I've been to thousands of fucking games. We know our club. I'm having a rant, and I'm telling you to fuck off.
All right, well said, because I think what's happened, right, is that at the end of the day, it's a troll's paradise. You young kids who go in there thinking you're funny to try and impress someone. At the end of the day, go over to the fan cams and talk your go and talk your rubbish and have a go at one of those guys. Just leave us alone, because at the end of the day, what you guys do is that you just make prats of yourself. You criticise, and the reason why you're criticising is because you're loyal, obviously, to the fan cams or the channels you obviously prefer, and that's fair enough. But at the end of the day, it's a testament to your stupidity that these people that you're trying to defend, or when you're trying to be funny to impress your friends, no one's impressed. You get very few likes, and these people you're trying to defend wouldn't touch you a barge pole. They wouldn't touch you. I know factually that the people who have a go at this channel obviously watch, other fan cams, probably like the Arsenal Vision podcast. They're fans of people on there. They're fans of people on the Gooner Talk. They're fans of, other channels as well. And they're fans of AFTV. But I know factually that those channels wouldn't touch any of those guys with a barge pole. And that's for a fact. Because I know that a lot of those channels I mentioned handpicked the people they think they're going to get them views, and who they think that the majority in the comments or fans would like and take to. That's a fact. I know that factually. And it's not an opinion, it's a fact, because I've been on those channels and I've seen exactly
what I'm gonna say, Kenny,
who they use.
I've got the utmost fucking respect for you because you've been going as long as I've been going, as has Lee, and I will give you the utmost respect in the world. There's a lot of people out there that I know who've been going for 50 fucking odd years. And I get some little muppet try and talk to me about Arsenal and say that I'm an old cunt, and I am. Sorry for swearing. Sorry, Lee.
That's all right, mate. We're probably demonetised about 14 minutes ago, mate. Don't worry about that. We might as well carry on now, Jez.
Sorry, mate.
I'm joking. Go on, man.
No, I'm on one tonight because I'm back in my own.
It's your show as well, mate.
I'm back in the mould. I'm back in the mould. You know, all this shit I've been through in the last 3 weeks, I'm back in the mould. And I said to this kid, if you can fucking sit down and talk to me about Arsenal, I'll listen to you and I'll give you respect. But until that day, then you can tell me about Arsenal and tell me what you know, then you can fuck off up the lane. And that's it.
This is the thing, though. Like, obviously, we're on the internet. We put our opinions out on the internet so that it's an open platform. People can come and criticize it. What I find funny is it's like people that genuinely, like, I don't know everything about the club. You guys teach me every day. Like, we all teach each other in the chat.
Please, don't do yourself down. You know,
you don't use subjectives. One of the reasons why people watch you is because you'll read something and you'll actually get factual information, and then you'll work with it. A lot of these people, a lot of these podcasters do that, but ultimately they want to do shows with people they're comfortable with. They don't want anyone to upset the balance, and they do zonal mark all the comments that are made about their shows. Hence the fact that they know who their audience is. Because, for instance, I know factually that some of these other podcasts are looking for a certain audience. So, for instance, they may have me on occasionally, but not on a regular basis, and it could be the same for you guys. But ultimately, they want everyone who basically goes on the show to basically have this attitude of win, draw, lose, everyone on the booze. You know, Arsenal are magic, Liverpool are tragic, and so Spurs are tragic, and I think that's fine. But there's I don't think that a lot of the stuff is honest. And I think it's, you know, they want to sound level-headed. But when I hear the words like level-headed and calm and concise, I just smell. I just translate into bullshit. Sorry, but that's how I am.
And listen, big up to everyone watching. Bertrand, you've been here since day one, mate, and I respect that and rate that. I think what Jez meant, is people that chat shit to him and doubt his knowledge of the club or his love for the club.
Exactly.
Not everyone that lives like. I live abroad, so I don't go.
I apologise for that. I'm not sorry. Let me just correct myself, Bertrand. I'm not insulting you. I'm not insulting other people that can't get to the games. I didn't mean it like that. What I'm saying is that people that come on here and give Lee, me, Kenny, and other people on the fan cams bullshit about what they know or they think they know and they don't know. If you've got factual comments that you can come to us, Lee, me, Kenny, Gracie, all the other people that come on here and give their time, then that's fine. But don't talk bullshit. Don't criticise us for the fact that we have greater knowledge about the club than you do, and don't try and quote idiotic comments that you actually can't back up, because you make yourselves look a complete utter prick. That's all I'm saying. So Bertrand, please don't take offence. Other people, please don't take offence what I said. I didn't mean it like that, and I apologise.
I think it more boils down to the fact that people that doubt you as a football fan of your club because you're having a go at the club or the players or the manager, people seem to think that you're suddenly not a fan of the club.
Yeah, it has 100%.
When you've grown up in that area, which you two have, and Jez, you literally could fucking touch the fucking stadium from your bedroom. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like when people doubt your loyalty to your football club when they've not been supporting the club due to age, not being able to get to games because of location or financial implications and stuff like that. But you go week in, week out. That does piss people off.
Well, yeah,
because it's like, well, I traipse up and down the country every fucking week and I spend all this money to go and watch my club. How dare you have a go at me?
You see,
Like,
that's what I said. That's what I said to one guy, right, on Twitter. So don't you ever do that and doubt my support. And he was going, "Oh, you think you're better?" There used to be one prat.
It's not about thinking you're better, though, is it? That's not what we're saying.
There used to be one prat. He used to always talk nonsense about me supporting. When I told him what I support, you think you're better than me? No, I never said that. But here's a word of advice: if you're going to go up to someone who has got a season ticket and has been going for, who's had a season ticket for nearly 25, 30 years, been going for nearly 40 years, and you're telling them not about the support, then don't go tiny tears when they give it back to you, because that's the greatest insight you can give to any person who loves this club with everything in their hearts, to go and support Tottenham. That is the ultimate insult, because we don't back Arteta, right? Or we don't agree. We're not positive.
You're not a fan, and you can jog on. And the thing is, people there's the phrase in football, no one's bigger than the club, which is true, right? So with this Aubameyang saga, which has led us on nicely to Aubameyang, with the Aubameyang saga, it's nobody's bigger than the club when it comes to Aubameyang. But if you, Jez, and you, Kenny, and me don't back this manager, you can fuck off to Tottenham, because Arteta's bigger than you and bigger than the club. Yeah, so it's one rule for one if you like that person, i.e. Arteta, and it's one rule for another one if that's now not flavour of the month anymore because Martinelli is, or Ramsdale is, or this player's come in. And listen, Aubameyang, say what you want about Aubameyang, his goal scoring record for Arsenal is relentless. Yeah, bearing in mind that he was shit last season, he's been shit this season. Yeah, his goal scoring record is fucking nearly, I think it's better than 1 in 2. And he had a year off last year and he's been crap this year. Right? So what does that tell you? He's a relentless goal scorer. But having said that, you've taken the mick. You can't turn up late, which you did for Tottenham. And as much as I don't see them as our rivals because they're shit, and they don't win anything, I get it. They're next door neighbours, you want to beat them. Right? You can't turn up late for that game. He's then apparently had this hoo-ha, and we don't know what's happened. Arteta's hung him out to dry, but then half-assed hung him out to dry. Ain't said what happened, so now everyone's assuming. If this was Mesut Ozil, the statement from his camp would have already come out. And he would have fought fire with fire. Aubameyang's just whatever, mate. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, his agent did a slight dig, didn't he, towards the club. I suppose it's really towards Arteta. But the thing about it, right, is that, as I said to Jason yesterday, if someone was late twice, then what will happen is that you'll see it as a disciplinary issue. But I've never ever in my walk of life, any job I've worked in, where a person's been deemed to be late, and that person's now been told, go home, you're suspended. It's tantamount being suspended from your job for a disciplinary issue, or tantamount being suspended from school because of an issue with a teacher or getting in a fight. So they've suspended him. Go train away from the team. You're not in the squad anymore. I don't understand that you get that punishment for being late twice. Where I come from, if you're in a situation where you're like I said, you're suspended in terms of being told to train away from the team and blah blah, and you won't be playing until you go away to represent your country in the African nations. Where I come from, what normally would happen is that you'll go and speak to your manager, and it could be in front of the squad, and your manager could say, right, I don't like what you did, blah blah. I want you to apologise to me, and I think you should apologise to your teammates. I haven't done anything wrong. Why am I apologising for him? I'll be him up. And he said, nah, sod that. I'm not going to do that. How dare you make me look stupid in front of a team? It's a humiliate me. As a club captain, you're going to humiliate me and make me look like a pork chop. No, I'm not having that. And then what will happen? It will escalate in a row, and then a few things will be said, because the problem started this season when he got taken off against Man United. And then 4 days later, he's on the bench against Everton. and then after being on the bench as Everton, Eddie Nketiah comes on before him when we're trying to secure try and win the game, or you take Old Trafford with 15 minutes to go and we're 3-2 down, he's taking off. So it's a bit of a coincidence that we've now had an issue with him breaking club rules and non-negotiables. It's a coincidence that it's happened since the Man United game. That's all I'm trying to say. So for anyone to say that he's been banished from the football club because he was late twice, do me a favour, mate. Yeah, there was 100%. A row, mate. There was a row.
In a million years has he had that captain's armband taken off him for being late twice. No chance. Never in a million years. Where
something was said and Arteta didn't like what came back to him. And it's probably the same thing that happened with Mesut Ozil. Don't get me wrong. The manager, if it's happened and the squad know about it, then obviously he has to win that debate. Yeah. But don't come out and say blah, blah. Just be honest or sell him at the end of the season. Don't let it escalate, because right now you've got lucky because we won 3 games. When we start losing games and he's still here, not playing, you watch the backlash that Arteta's going to get, and it's going to be of his own making. So think big and stop and make sure that you don't make it about you, Mikel. We know you're the boss. You tell us every player ratings every time you tell us in your press conference that you're the boss. We've known that since December 2019. You're the boss. No need to prove it. It flex your muscles. Just concentrate on winning some football matches and sort this bloody out for the betterment of the club.
Fact.
Well said, Kenny. Well said.
Yeah. What do you make of it all, Jez? Because this is going to drag on and on and on, and he's going to the African Cup of Nations next month. Apparently, he's been training on his own, and he will be training on his own until he goes to that competition, which goes into Well, it starts in January. Yeah. So the transfer window is open in January. He's going to be at the AFCON, which is not going to be easy to get him out the club whilst he's... Listen, I know we've got telephones and all of that, and there's agents here, there and everywhere, and intermediaries and stuff like that. Ain't going to be easy to get rid of him. He's on 300 grand a week, 375. Plus, he's 33 in the summer. Who's going to take a punt on him, paying a fee, number one, which we could waiver the fee. We could just say, right, we terminate your contract, mutual consent. Yeah, and save all that wages. And then he just goes and somebody could pay him. Who do you think, if he does leave, he's going to go to? And do you think he'll go in Jan?
No, I don't think he'll go in January, man. Let's go back in history. I think there's been an issue with Aubameyang and Arteta from day one. When Aubameyang, when he was under Emery, I think he was top class. I think Arteta and Aubameyang have had a major kickoff or kickoffs over a whole period of time. And I think Arteta is an arrogant man. He basically is a dictator. And I think he's come across a strong personality that has said, fuck you. And I will do what I want to do, possibly because of the massive wage he's on. So I think we won't see Aubameyang again. He's basically been... Arteta has been a petulant little child and said, if you don't play my way, it's the highway. And that's what we're seeing. Aubameyang will go off to the AFCON, do what he's got to do, and he'll probably score a shed load of fucking goals to tell Arteta to stick up his arse.
Yeah.
Next summer, he'll go, and good luck to him. I've rated Aubameyang, and shame to see him go. But he's 33, coming to the end of his as a striker. He's lost his pace, in my opinion. And I could see him possibly going, dare I say it, to Man City.
Yeah, I can.
Well, that's the thing, guys.
They need a striker, right? Albeit they're banging goals at the minute, but they need a striker.
It's Chelsea need a striker because,
Well, and then listen, apparently, according to Fabrizio, he was linked to Chelsea last summer.
Well,
Like,
it's funny you talk about Fabrizio. The biggest elephant in the room is that Fabrizio, was on YouTube. I'm not saying he's a 100% reliable source of evidence, but him and Charlie Watts is someone probably in that bracket as well, because Charlie Watts is the first person last week who actually leaked the situation regarding Aubameyang.
That's because he's the chief puppet. He got the Thomas Partey news first. Yes, Arteta, no Arteta, 3 bags full Arteta.
But either way, Charlie Watts was right. And Fabrizio Romano said that that Arsenal have been looking for a striker for a good few months, obviously since the summer. So obviously there has been a situation where maybe Mikel is trying to move away from Oba, and I think Laka as well. But he actually needs Laka. Hence the fact that I think it's a pork chop moment for to talk about giving a captaincy to anyone but Laka. I think people are talking about giving it to Tierney and giving it to his players. Calm yourselves down, mate. Calm yourselves down. You can't have one superstar being told to jog on, and then you go and mug off the other superstar who you need to lead these youngsters. Come on, think. I wish people just think and engage their brain before they start talking about
trendy. Kenny, it's got to be called trendy, mate.
I know, but surely people have got empathy and kind of like a situation where you think mentally about how it affects the team. Where you're going, I'll give it a Ramsdale, being there 5 minutes. I'll give it a Tierney. Why? Because he's British, but he can't get in the team. Just think and just wait to the end of the season and make a decision. What's the rush in giving change the captaincy? Why? There's a leadership group that Arteta was talking about.
Leadership group, Jesus Christ!
Even then, don't you think it's a bit extraordinary if he's talking about a leadership group and he gives the captaincy to anyone but that leadership group or senior players? Don't you think he'll lose his dressing room if he did that? Because senior players will mess him up.
The problem we've got is this was because when Emery was here, we had 5 captains because he couldn't decide, and he got a fucking psychologist to come in or something, and the psychologist said, if you have 5 captains and blah blah blah, and he listened way too much to that psychologist. This has been an issue. In fact, this is actually I'm not even going to pin it on Emery. This has been an issue for 10-15 years. We've had Fabregas leave the club, go to the Formula One instead of fucking playing. Left the club, captain. Thierry Henry, I'm going to give him a pass because of what he done for the club, right? We've had Granit Xhaka stripped to the armband. Arteta was captain and barely played when he was captain. Always injured. Mertesacker was always injured when he was captain. Who else we had?
Brad Percy was given a captaincy to stay.
The little boy inside of him wanted to win a title, and he was right.
Won a title.
Yeah, he was right at the end. Who else was there? We've had loads. Koscielny fucking whipping off the Arsenal shirt and putting on the fucking shirt underneath. It's been an absolute farce, this captain's armband at this football club. The last proper captain, and I mean proper captain we had, was probably Patrick Vieira. Yeah, we've had half-decent, semi-decent ones on the way. Like Fabregas, I don't think, or Henry weren't a bad captain, either of them. Yeah, but Mertesacker, wasn't really a bad captain. He just never played. Arteta, we don't know because he never played. He was always injured. So, but we have had some shit, man. We have had some proper crap. And this has not just been a recent thing. This has been 15 years, man. 10, 15 years. And now we're in a position where we've got a leadership group. It's like you're at fucking... I said this the other day. It's like you're at nursery.
If you like cricket, though.
In the leadership group.
Yeah, but it's like cricket, though. It's cricket, though. If you think about... Remember the ball tampering with the Aussies and South Africa? It was all this... The buzzwords was like leadership group. You know what I mean? And I think that's the whole situation. The leadership group is basically a group of senior players who basically would run the dressing room on behalf of the manager, and they police things. That's all the leadership group's about. Yeah, so invariably, they're going to get the captaincy.
Yeah, but this is how pathetic it is, Kenny, yeah? Like, just because you're vocal in the dressing room doesn't mean you're a captain. Aubameyang's vocal in the dressing room. Yeah, but he's vocal doing his dancing for Instagram. Yeah, doesn't mean he's actually a leader.
But I think the thing is, it comes from us as well. We're old fashioned, and we've been brought up on Tony Adams with the fist out, and we go Adams, and that is the kind of mould we want our captains. We want our captains to be like Adams, fist clenched, arms out and blah
Yeah,
blah.
we
And I
ain't
think,
fucking losing today, mate.
yeah,
Come on,
lose the
lad.
day. And I think
Yeah.
the problem is that
Maybe we're
and I
just
say-
too fucking old, long in the
no,
tooth, mate.
you know, I think foreign managers, foreign managers, not just who've come to this country, but in general, they don't value the captaincy like we do in this country. They give it to the person who's the best player, who's the most popular. So in that way, it means you don't annoy your best player. You keep him on side because you want to massage his ego. Not only does he score you all the goals, or he gets 8 out of 10 every time, or he's the most popular with the media. You're giving the captaincy to basically keep him sweet. David Beckham, England captain, do me a favour. That guy, captain. Harry Kane, England captain, do me a favour. But that is the foreign mentality. Give it to the person who you think is the best player. Aubameyang got the captaincy after Xhaka because he was our most potent player and he was our match winner. And that is how they view the captaincy. The captaincy outside England isn't viewed with this kind of like, how to say it, isn't revered as it is in this country. And I think we just got to get used to that. We're going to see people not captain material.
I think modern football is not anymore because Buffon was captain for years. Yeah, Gigi Buffon was captain for years. Like one of the legends, probably the best goalkeeper I've ever seen. Like,
but Casillas as well. Casillas of Spain was
Casillas as well. Yeah, Casillas. Like, that's another one. Both captains. Like, you know, but you know, I just look at it and I think like the captain's armband in modern football, and when I say modern football, I mean the last 10 years. Yeah, because before that we had Vincent Kompany, we had the John Terrys, we had players like that were fucking proper men, proper leaders, right? And as much as I couldn't stand John Terry, I fucking rated him as a footballer, man. Like, he was such a sick centre-back. Him and Tony Adams together would have been mad. Like, that would have been a sick... You ain't beating that. Yeah, Manuel Neuer and Oliver Kahn as well, another 2 goalkeepers that had it, yeah? But I think, like, now, it just gets passed around like confetti. Like, somebody put a comment in
I generally...
his birthday. Like,
I generally think it's going to be because I think what's happened is that the reason why... I think when you're a captain of a club, I'm assuming it reflects in your salary and it reflects on the fact that you're in charge of making sure that tickets are made available to the players so they can give it to their families and friends. So you're in charge of that. It gives you kind of sums, and you'll nominate someone to collect all the fines. So basically you're not, if the person who scores you all the goals or your best player's got a massive ego, you're gonna not want someone to tell him what to do. So the easy thing to do is giving the captain, and that's the psychology of foreign cousins in terms of the captaincy.
And the problem we've got now, like I said this the other day on the stream, right? Do you think, before we move on to whether games should be cancelled and that, listen, big up to 650 people watching. Smash the likes up. There's not even 200 likes, people. But do you think that Aubameyang's got the ump? Because when he signed that contract, this wasn't a youth project. This was, we've got to win the Champions League in 3 years, or we're trying to win the Champions League in 3 years, right? That was the aim, yeah? Remember everyone was saying it took Klopp 4 years and all that crap, right? He signed re-signed a deal on that premise that it was, we're going for Champions League. All of a sudden, it's now a youth project. Do you think he's got the ump with that and gone, fuck off? Because if it was me, and I'm 33 in the summer, let's say, the last couple of years of my contract, the last couple of years of my career at the highest level, I don't want to be doing a youth project, mate.
Look, I think the problem started with Mesut Ozil being banished, because I think a lot of people do see him as a creative force in the football club, in my opinion. So in that respect, people who think he's one of the most creative players and the best player at the time at the football club, they think, hang on, it's a bit bizarre, he can't get the side, because they weren't happy when Unai Emery left him out. So how are they going to be happy if Arteta's decided that that he doesn't fit in no more? That is going to be a problem, because obviously Mesut Ozil as well is a dressing room leader. He is, the players look up to him, and then obviously there's no doubt that Lacazette and Aubameyang were part of that dressing room leadership group. Xhaka probably was teacher's pet, but Kolasinac is another one who I thought was a bad egg. And then don't get me started with Mustafi, but That's where the problem, I think, starts. If you've got a popular player, you get rid of him, then you've got to deal with his mates, because his mates are not going to have that.
But
they're not going to have what they perceive as bad treatment.
Aubameyang's mates are leaving in the summer, mate, because Lacazette is going. Yeah. Who else are his mates? You don't see a friendship with anyone else within that squad like him.
Well, Pepe's still there.
Yeah, but Pepe will be gone as well. Guendouzi's already gone, and he was mates with Guendouzi. Yeah, Saliba's gone. Yeah, Pepe's going, Laka's going, and Aubameyang's going. That's now. Remember the German core that's not all been kicked out in January and last summer. Yeah, now this French-speaking core is being kicked out. Yeah, because for me, I think that he wants people that are just going to say yes, boss, no, boss.
Well, that's the manager's dream, though. Ultimately, it's the manager's dream, though, isn't it? Because at the end of the day...
Yeah, but you never win anything like that, mate.
Maybe not. But the thing is, if you've got a situation where the buzzwords are trust the process, project youth, then what you're translating that into, obviously, is time. You know, he's now going to say, look what they're doing now after 7 games. They're fourth in the table. They're producing gold. Just give me enough time so I can develop them. So if we miss out in Championship football this year and probably just, get into the Conference League, that's a big success because in terms of these players' development. So when you use buzzwords like that, it means give him more time. Just think if I can add a few players on, maybe a bit of experience, blah, blah. It's what sells. And that's what he's going to say this end of the season. And not just him, you don't want to have to say it. It'll be the club saying it. It'll be his mouthpieces in the media and on the podcast who are going to say that.
I think we all can sit here and agree. And listen, the chat will probably agree as well. He ain't getting sacked no matter where we finish this season. And I think this Aubameyang saga kind of confirms that, because Mesut Ozil, I didn't expect to be ousted from the club the way it happened. I thought he'd just sit on his contract and it'd expire. The fact that he got him out, and now he's going to do it to Aubameyang. Like, boy, he ain't going nowhere, mate.
You know what I could say to you and Jez? If Emery was sacked because the players turned against him, he lost the dressing room, do you think the predecessor's going to have that? Especially when Emery's a fellow Basque man, proud Spanish man, who's hugely respected across football by people like Pep Guardiola, Wenger himself, and by Mikel. He's going to think if they did that to Emery, they ain't doing it to me.
No, that's a good point.
Very good point. Good point.
Very good point. Listen, big up to everybody watching, man. Nearly 700 people watching. We are going to talk about the games potentially being cancelled. Kenny has a proposal. While Kenny does this proposal, I'm going to go to the toilet.
It's funny that you're the one who opposes it. You might as well stick around and cross your legs, mate. You're going nowhere,
mate. Man. I'm literally going to wet myself.
You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to too much liquids, too much water.
That's what it is. Too much liquids. But go on. I can hear you anyway. The bathroom's only there. I've got an ensuite.
Basically, as you guys know,
I can hear you. I'll be 2 minutes.
All right. As you guys know, I've always been an advocate for closing down the Christmas period of games on the basis that I wanted a Christmas break in teams in Europe, because Spain, like Germany, France, Portugal, all those teams have a Christmas break. And they managed to, condense these fixtures in the new year, and they still managed to play the same amount of games as us. And all I was asking for was freshness. Another reason why I wanted a mid-season break was for the fans, match-going fans. And that's no disgrace to fans who go abroad, who watch from abroad, or armchair fans who can't afford to go. I'm talking from a logistic view that if you have the Christmas fixtures, you're basically asking Arsenal to play Newcastle at 12:30 on Boxing Day, yet there's no trains. So how are you going to get there? Because back in the day, obviously, when we were both younger, it was a case where there was no computer. It was basically like written fixture lists, and basically what they wanted to do for logistic reasons, Arsenal played Tottenham in either Boxing Day or New Year's Day, or Palace will play Charlton. Liverpool will probably play Man City, And Everton will play Man United, not too far, but the Lancashire clubs played, and maybe Aston Villa will play Nottingham Forest, not too far to go. Because during the 80s and 70s, a lot of Arsenal fans lived locally. You know, they didn't move to the suburbs, they didn't move all the way out of the country. So it was easier to get there. But it's different now with the computer list and the fact that fans have moved around all over the UK. Obviously, some have gone abroad, but I'm talking about the British fan who still maintain season tickets, who, you know, can't get to games because there's no trains. So they have to get coaches that may not run. So that's why I was calling for it at the time. But now, because of the situation from Omicron, I want the games to be. I want a Christmas break for the simple reason is that we're having a situation where teams can't fill teams because there's too many cases where, you know, too many people in the squad have been affected. So basically, we've had the cancellations in the last 2 weeks. So you're going to have a farce of games being, you know, teams like Spurs and everyone else having games saying yes, they play today, but yesterday we had only one game because of this COVID outbreak, and next week, where we still have this COVID outbreak, we've got the League Cup games, which could be in jeopardy, and we've got games going to be called off anyway. And then you're going to have the situation when we do have these games, fans get locked out. So again, match-going fans who've paid loads of money at season tickets can't get kicked to the games. So you're basically saying if the games were on, they can't get trains. But now you're saying watch at home, everyone watch the games. That defeats the purpose. So all I'm saying is that for the 2 weeks during the Christmas period, why don't we have a situation where you can have a situation where, you know, you can get their positive cases down. Match day fans, you know, could like to have a bit of a break, shut down the season. So when we come back on the FA Cup weekend, we're still going to have full crowds and players have full squads. Yes, COVID's going to be here forever, and there's still going to be infection rates. But you want to sort of temper this thing down so you don't have fans locked out, and you're not locked out where they can't go. Clubs don't lose money because they're going to have to give the money back to fans who've prepaid their season tickets. So it's going to cause a financial circumstances. Football cannot afford to have what they had for 18 months 18 months before fans got in, where they had no crowds. It's going to hit the smaller clubs and it's going to hit the big clubs. You know, you can't just rely on TV money and sponsorship money. And that's why I'm saying 2 weeks, circuit breaker, come back in January. You know, we can get the situation sorted. You know, people can get their COVID passes sorted, fans who want to go. Maybe if they want to take up, you know, like the medical advice and so forth. That's what I'm saying. 2 weeks. I'm not saying it forever. I want 2 weeks where we're going back to football. And the solution is we can still get these fixtures sorted because during the midweek we can there's a lot of there's a midweek break which round so we can get those fixtures sorted. And when teams get knocked out of the FA Cup, we can have those games during the FA Cup weekends because normally the Premiership don't have games because they give priority to the FA Cup. So there's loads of times when these games can be played and we're still going to be able to finish this season in May. That's what I'm asking for. 2 weeks. Or maybe 3 weeks.
Do you want to go first, Jez, or shall I go first?
Well,
you go first, Jez. Go on. I'll sit. I'll wait. I want to hear your thoughts on it as well.
It's a great factual comment, Kenny. And I think you've got a very valid point. Times have changed in football. The great point you just made that I can actually totally agree with you is that back in the day, the games were local. I can remember so many Arsenal Tottenham games that were around like Christmas. I mean, I remember 78 Christmas Eve. Because, as you quite rightly have said, trains were shut down. You didn't get the fixtures where you're playing Liverpool on Boxing Day because it wasn't going to happen. The point I do disagree with is that it is a traditional thing at Christmas on Boxing Day or the day after, whatever day Boxing Day falls on. You'd have the great, how can I describe it? Yeah, the excitement of going to a football game after Christmas. Now, maybe as the world has changed with COVID, and I honestly believe, and I'm going to put this out there, and people may disagree with me. I honestly think we are heading for another lockdown. I think Boris and the government are letting Christmas go. They're going to let New Year's go because last year people had to segregate. You had to be in a bubble. But the way things are going, the stuff I've seen on TV, the stuff I've read, this Omicron is spreading so fast. I can say, well, in Wales, 29th of December, nightclubs shut. This is shit. I can see this is going to happen. And that's going to be a great shame because there's, you and I, Kenny, Lee, love going to football games. I've because of you two fuckers, I've got back into it. I've got back into it big time this season. The amount of money I've spent going to away.
It's mad, isn't it? Because the tickets are what, 30 quid or 25 quid, but it's the travelling.
Yeah,
it's travelling, isn't it? It's travelling, yeah.
It's the love.
Hey, Jez, you wait till you start when we get back in Europe and you start travelling abroad, mate. Yeah, that's when you really hit your bank balance.
True.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm not sure I'll go that far because
I know, Jez. If we ever get back in Europe and I'm still in Spain, which I'm hoping to be, right, and we get an Atletico or a Valencia or a Malaga, you're coming in, mate.
I would come. But can I just make a point? I wholeheartedly, Kenny, agree with you in a certain aspect. Germany shuts down because of weather, right? France, Denmark, Norway, Finland, Sweden. It's all not France, but all those countries I just previously mentioned. That's weather. I love the FA Cup played the third round in January. I love it. It's great. I mean, it's an experience. It's a love of mine. I love the FA Cup. I've grown up with it, as you have, Lee has, and thousands of people that watch this have grown up with it. And it's an excitement. But football is changing big time. The world is changing. And I actually, sadly, Kenny, I have to agree with you. I do. I don't like it. But I will go with what you're saying because you're talking sense, as you always do. But it's tough. It's a tough one, man. I don't like it. But I'll go with it. I can see it happening. And the world we are now in, and let's be fair, let's get it right. We're going to be with this bloody virus for a fucking long time. In my book, I reckon it's going to be around for the next 5 years. If you read history, and I'm big into history, when we had the Spanish flu thing back in 1919, that was around till 1924. And all right, we didn't have the vaccines and the medical knowledge we've got to this day, but this bloody thing keeps mutating and coming back and shit, and it's going to affect the world. It's going to affect sport in all forms. So I would back you, Kenny, in what you're saying. It saddens me because I've loved so many hundreds of games, not hundreds, that's a lie, but loads and loads of games at Christmas, local derbies where we've played majority Tottenham. We've played West Ham, we've played Chelsea. It's been great atmospheres, great banter. And I would, I'd be so sad to see that not happen. And I'll say no more.
Lee, it's your turn, mate.
I totally disagree with Aperia.
Okay.
Honestly, totally disagree. Right, we went into 2 lockdowns. Football was cancelled for one of them. And here we are, all this time later, talking about it again. Well, it didn't go away last time after a lockdown. So this is why you have a squad. This is why you have a youth setup. We see today a young lad play at centre back, or I think he was a centre back, was he? The young lad for Liverpool. Yeah, Harry Kane gave him the run around. Yeah, and Son, but he's got his chance, and he's now been put into the spotlight. Everton played a C team against Chelsea the other day and got a draw. Yeah, and now Rafa Benitez is looking at some of them players going, well, actually, you're giving me a little bit more in that game than I thought you could do, mate. So now you're going to get promoted into the first team and you're going to give him a run for his money. The fact and reality is, I've got to be careful what I say, right? Because like you guys know my thoughts on it anyway, but I've got to be careful what I say on here. But for me, I love Christmas fixtures. Like, it's the buzz. It's like every 2 days there's a game, like for your team, 2 or 3 days or whatever. Yeah, there's football on all over Christmas and New Year. It's sick. And then the FA Cup kicks in, and it's the buzz of the FA Cup again, right? And you always get an upset. Yeah, for me, this is now going on cases, not hospitalizations or people passing away. It's going on cases. That's a sticky area to get into because, you know, I've got to be careful, man. I'm trying to think.
I hear what you're trying to say, but the reason why I've called for this, I always call for a Christmas break.
You have done for years, yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I called for it is because of logistics of fans getting the matches, especially.
Yeah, Kenny, the trains run. Yeah,
not Boxing Day though. There's only one train that runs a Boxing Day, and that's a train that goes to Gatwick and Heathrow, and that is primarily for, you know, people who are going to Heathrow Airport or returning from Heathrow Airport from abroad. But that is apparently those are the only trains that runs. All the other trains around the country that get into London, like Virgin trains, East Midlands trains, you know, train that you're talking about as well. Is it South West, South East, Southern trains don't run. So it's only the shuttle trains that go through our main airports in London, or London Gatwick and London Heathrow. But apart from that,
have we got a game on Boxing Day?
Yeah, we've got a game in Norwich.
Right,
yeah, 12:30.
Let's get it right. I cannot get from Horsham in West Sussex, where I live, to Victoria on Boxing Day because of rail works. And I know this has to be done. Network Rail, got to do maintenance and shit. So I looked it up because I was actually not going to go. I wasn't looking to go to a game. I was looking to go to my niece up in Brixton. And I looked it all up, and what the wife and I are now going to do, we're actually going to drive up because we'd have to get a bus from Horsham station by train, a bus up to East Croydon. Yeah, great. Yeah. And then we'd have to get a train from there to Clapham Junction and then get a bus from there to Victoria. So I said, fuck, let's just drive up. Let's just drive.
But I think that's the point though. Like that's like one of the reasons why I wouldn't call it off. Like, and have a break. Like I know Germany are in their break now, right? And other leagues, I think the French league go into their break, or I think the Spanish league, I think there was one game today, Betis lost to Bilbao. Probably Becky B's mistakes. They conceded 3. Although Betis are doing well this season. I think they're 3rd or 4th in the league. They're doing really well. But
I hope they do well so Becky stays there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But not only that, somebody's put a great comment in here as well about, where is it? You've got to consider the millions of fans around the world and how they feel about the Christmas fixtures, because a lot of our fan base don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's the thing. I understand why our game's attractive. One of the reasons why our game's the most watched in the world is because during the Christmas period, the rest of the world only have our league to watch. So great respect for that. 100%. I would not argue for their reasons for opposing my structure about cancelling the Christmas games. But I think the reason why I brought it up this year was because it's only because I was seeing a lot of fixtures getting called off, and I can't see anything but more fixtures being called off, because of the fact is that the Premier League are saying yes to a lot of the cases where there are a lot of requests for getting games called off. Now the Premier League and the clubs are having a meeting tomorrow where I'm hearing that they're looking to, probably to postpone the games from the 28th up, and so basically they're going to keep the traditional game in Boxing Day, and they're looking to keep the traditional game on New Year's Day. But the games in between, they're looking to see if they can make that casual. So obviously, we're playing Wolves on the 28th, 12:30 on the, one of the silly channels, what's Amazon. So that the Premier League are looking to cancel those games. What I'm trying to say is that the League Cup, I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be a cancellation, postponement of the League Cup games, and probably postponement of a few games of Boxing Day, because I don't see a situation where these cases are going to go down unless clubs are acting and they're saying,
that's my point, Kenny. To call it off for 2 weeks, when, let's be real, the cases are going up, not down. A 2-week period of no football. These players are still
if they're isolated for that time or not coming to the ground, then what will happen is
they're still going to be mingling with family and friends, right? Not only that, even if you think and you think they're all great and they're all going to just sit at home on their own with just their immediate family over that 2 weeks, right? Let's assume they all do. Yeah. Well, they've still got to get food. They've still got to go.
I do understand it, but the thing is, those. If we say let's have these continue with these fixtures, you're not going to get anything to watch, because I think that 75% of the games, if not, and I'm being generous, probably 80 won't be played anyway, and then you're going to have a prospect. So another thing you're going to have as well is that I'm against having teams having like loads of games in hand when other teams are being forced to play. It's not. It devalues the competition.
I disagree with that as well. Totally disagree with that. Like at the end of the day, right? You've got a youth set up for a reason, right? And people bang on about Highland. They bang on about Cobham. They bang on about other clubs. Yeah, Southampton,
Carrington, Man City, and Man United. Yeah,
and all of that, right? So let's see how good these academies are. We see Leeds had a 15-year-old on the bench, right? When you actually looked at Leeds' squad yesterday, right, we were similar ages, 24 and 25 was the average age of our squads, right? So we could play our game. That was cool. But the Villa-Burnley game got called off. If you're Steven Gerrard, you're fuming. You're in great form. You want the game played. If you're Sean Dyche, you're like, well, that's a result. Yeah, because by the time we get round to playing that game, we might be in a bit better form and we might have a chance.
Yeah, but it's a
selfish reason to want it called off.
But these are COVID cases. The reason why I'm talking about it is because what's happening is that the Premier League, obviously they said no to Chelsea because they looked at the fact that Chelsea still had a strong side out. But they said yes to Spurs a few times. They've said yes to Leicester twice. And they've said yes to Watford and Crystal Palace and all these other teams. And Brentford they said yes to. So what I'm saying is that ordinarily, it's if these cases carry on, it's going to be a farce. And then you have a situation where the match-going fan, who's always the afterthought, is think about if I'm talking about match-going fan who wants to go, but we won't be able to go because we'll have these games, but it'll be locked out. And then we're thinking, hang on here.
Yeah, but
what's going on here?
Yeah, but at the same time, that's more of a selfish point of view. Right. And I know that you want to go to games and I know you love live games. Like that's why you never do watch-alongs and stuff. When I've said to you, do you want to come on? No, I like going live games. Yeah. Right. And even the away games like that you don't go to other than London, you're like, no, I want to watch the game. I don't want to come on a watch-along. I want to watch the. You've always said that to me because you like watching it live on TV or at the ground. Right. And I get it, but just think, right? An away game, we have 3,000-4,000 fans at it. Yeah, even if the trains ain't running, right, we're still going to have 3,000-4,000 fans at the ground.
Yeah, we always find a way. We always find a way because,
and that's my point. So we have to find a way. We have to find a way around stopping games being cancelled, and the only way you do that, and these clubs can cry as much as they like. These are multi-billion-pound businesses, and they're crying because they've got a couple of players that they can't use. Well, hang on. We've spent £500 million in 4 years. Why, even if we had half of our squad missing, we should still be able to field a squad adequate enough to go and play Norwich and beat them. Whether that means going into the youth setup, whether that means using El Neni, whether that means using Kolasinac, and that's the same for every single club. It's not my fault that Everton had to play a C team the other day. Yeah, they played a C team and they got a result at Stamford Bridge. Yeah, Leeds United played. They didn't have many cases, but they had a lot of injuries. If you look at that Leeds team on paper, the first 11, they were only missing Bamford and their right back. I think they were the only two players they were missing, weren't they? because Harrison played, Click played, Koch played, Ayling played, the goalkeeper played, Rafinha played. Most of their first 11 played in that game. It was only their bench that was weak, right? And then when you go on,
I'm talking about the fact that the Premier League have agreed with the request, because the other day they've agreed with requests from Man United, they've agreed with requests from Brentford, they've agreed with requests from Burnley, Tottenham, Leicester. You know, and they, you know, that obviously you talk about those cases, but these a lot of these teams haven't played for a long time now. If they're having an emergency meeting for a circuit breaker, it means that, you know, they're anticipating getting a lot more cases where, you know, they are calling for games off, because maybe the scientists is the same, right?
But this comment's perfect. We've got to learn to work ways around it. You can't keep postponing things and delaying things, which is 100%. Listen, there's a lot of cases at the minute. Like I said, my mum texted me yesterday and she said, hi, I've got long COVID, and like, you know, I went back to work for one day, I felt crap, and I've come. She's had it for weeks, man, and she's had all of her jabs. Like my dad's got it. My sister's only just gone back to work after having it. My daughter's mum's got it. For the fourth time she's had it now. And it's like you've got to find ways around it. Like you can't just close everything down.
I think the thing is that the entertainment things have been closed down. For instance, you look at you. All right, obviously you don't like things like Strictly Come Dancing, but you know, people because I think the problem is that because these events are insured in terms of like £1 million of insurance. Obviously, they've got commercial responsibilities. If one person gets COVID, the whole event gets done. I mean, I love cricket. You know, I love cricket anyway, but BBC Test Match Special didn't turn up for the last 2 days of the second test because someone in that area around the ABC, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, one person had COVID. They had to clear their part of the ground because, you know, they couldn't, because simple reasons that they had to isolate, so they couldn't put any shows on. But that is what's happening.
I'll give another example, and it's probably a stupid example to use. You go to a nightclub, right, and 5 weeks running in a nightclub, there's a stabbing. Are you shutting the nightclub down? You're not, are you?
You ain't shut it down.
Are you? You're just finding the geezer that's going around stabbing people.
But the thing is that but Lee, the reason why they say this is like the lurgy or Jess says Spanish flu, but let's face it, let's you know, rather than, you know, call a spade a gardening implement, let's call it a spade. We're basically saying it's a plague. COVID-19 is a plague, right or wrong. So if it's a plague, then, you know, these events are going to be like
on that basis. Can we shut down the world for how long?
Well, I'm not saying I only want football. I only want football. But 2 weeks.
That's on a personal point of view. But if you're saying it's a plague, right, and obviously it is global and there is cases everywhere, then the easiest way to do that is not shut it down for 2 weeks. It's to shut it down for a year. Everyone stay at home. Don't leave your house.
We virtually did that. We virtually did that.
And it didn't work.
We virtually did that.
We've got this one.
Yeah, but the problem is that what we've seen is that we've had so many variants of like this thing, and let's just face it, the scientists don't know what to do. So the thing they're going to do is basically say, you know what, shut your doors, blah blah. It's the easiest thing to do, and I think in terms of football, I'm only talking about preserving you know, the game for the, you know, in terms of like making sure that no games are going called off, because they're going to be called off, and I want to see fans who want to go get in the stadium. So I think it's either that or we're going to have the 3 months we had from March 2020 and we resumed in June. Let's face it, it was exciting, but it was a farce. It was a farce. You know what I mean?
It was. And football without fans is a joke, right? And it was boring, like, and there's no atmosphere, of course, right? But saying that, it was interesting because you had some freaky results. And that's what I'm saying now, right? Football, if somebody put a comment in a minute ago saying, go back to having 5 subs and use your academy. That's what you've got an academy for.
Well, I see that's another proposal. I don't know any I don't understand why we had 5 subs during Project Restart and it hasn't started, especially when you had the Euros, then you've got this League of Nations, you've got the World Cup. I'll tell you now, this is a side story, right? And you're going to probably kill me for saying this, all of you guys. But I'm going to say it. Don't be surprised when we have another situation where a player's going to collapse. With these amount of games, with no rest, of course you're going to see more accidents.
Yeah,
but people are going to put that
Kenny.
down. People are going to put that in people take the jab. But come on,
Kenny,
everyone
we're not playing any more games now than we were 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 4 years ago.
Yeah, but we've had a condensed program since Project League start, and these World Cup has to be played next year, no matter what.
No, I get that. I understand. Listen, let me just say one more thing. Let me just say one more thing on this, yeah? Right? How comes Scotland are near neighbours? Scotland. I don't know whether they've got a whole bubble over their whole country that's protecting them, but all 4 leagues, not a single game called off this weekend.
I find that quite extraordinary, mate. I do find that extraordinary. And the biggest stroke of luck ever, because maybe like I said, First Minister Sturgeon is running a very tight ship there. You know what I mean?
All 4 leagues, every single game went ahead.
Yeah, because remember, Sturgeon runs a tight ship to the extent that she wants it to be more stringent. I think the clubs are just thinking, you know what, we don't need a headache. And maybe the players there are obeying, because there were some breaches last year with Rangers players, Celtic players as well. That things are probably tighter in Scotland, but in England, obviously we're having a situation where just the cases are getting spiraling out of control. That could be down to a lot of things. They reckon they want players to be vaccinated, and they haven't got 100% uptake of it. But then that's another discussion.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
it's
really
irrelevant whether you have it or not, because you can still get it. Like my mum, she's had all three of the first jabs, and she's got it, and she's really ill with it. Yeah, my dad's had all 3. He's got it. My sister's had all 3. She's had it. Yeah, my daughter's mum's not had it, but she's had it 4 times now. Yeah, and it's like, no, it doesn't stop you getting it. It doesn't stop you passing it off.
But I think what's happening is that
everything. We've got to live through it, man.
And I hate to say, but I think what's happening is that you give football an out, like something an out, i.e., we want to preserve our leagues. We want to preserve the fact that these fixtures don't get postponed, and the fact that we still get the TV money. They'll take it. So if someone says, "Oh yeah, if you want to go to football, take 3 jabs, and you'll be able to go to games," you take it. Some people take it for that reason. A lot of people got a lot of reasons for believing the scientists. A lot of it had nothing to do with science. They're just either scared of getting it and getting ill and dying, or they don't want to be prohibited from doing what they love doing. And I think,
and that's the problem. A lot of people have taken it to stop being able to do what they're like doing, and that's.
Well, I've got breaking news here.
Mikel Arteta just knocked on the door and he's sat in the living room.
Yeah,
Jess, what you got for us?
Is that enough of you calling him a fucking prick?
Yeah, I just punched him in the face. And he's gone. No, I've just got myself a ticket for Arsenal Wolves, 28th of December.
Yes,
lovely.
And I've got a ticket pending for Tottenham Arsenal.
Lovely.
I've got a ticket
at the lane.
I tell you, my wife's going to go mad here.
That's why you closed the door.
You got a bank account, mate, or you got your own bank account?
No, we got a joint one, she'll know.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why. Why do you think he's closed the door? He's closed the door so she can't hear him.
I've got a ticket Arsenal Burnley.
Lovely.
I've got a ticket Wolves Arsenal. There you go.
All right.
Done it.
Oh, happy days, mate. Well, listen, you don't want the games called off now, do you?
Well, that's 250 quid gone there.
Well, I'm calling the games off, so Jez can get in the games, because we'll be playing. If we carry on, they're going to lock Jez out, and he won't be able to go to these games, or me.
Yeah, mate. I appreciate. I'll tell you what, Kenny. If they call them off, I'm coming around your gaff.
Too right. You're
so
welcome, mate.
How much was the if you don't mind me asking, how much was the ticket for Wolves? Because the Tottenham one was 30 quid, yeah.
Hang on. Where are we talking? What Arsenal Wolves?
Oh no, yeah, the Arsenal Wolves at the Emirates. How much was that one?
Yeah, Upper West, 86.40.
Oh,
86
disgusting.
86
86 quid to watch Wolves at home.
Hey,
Because you're upper tier, mate. You need to get lower tier.
Yeah, but you got to remember, mate. It's an e-ticket, and I'm not a member.
And we never beat Wolves at the Emirates.
No, we haven't. No. Granit Xhaka let the ball run past him when they beat us last year. Jimenez. Did you watch that video I sent you, Kenny?
No,
Yeah,
if I get a ticket,
Sad, isn't it?
if I get a ticket for Tottenham Arsenal, which I won't get that. No chance.
Hey, even if you get a ticket, right? My proposal will make sure you get that game, providing you get a ticket, because that way by that time we have full crowds.
By that time, we won't, because football's not going to be cancelled until January.
Yeah, but the Tottenham games are 16th of January.
And then everything's going to kick off.
Wolves Arsenal away, right? Wolves Arsenal away, yeah. How much do you reckon for a non-member?
Wolves Arsenal away.
I think your mate will charge you £25 on top of the 26 quid, so you pay 51
for an
quid.
away game, Jez.
It's away. Wolves
every away game's 30 quid.
Yeah, but Jez will have to pay a sweetener, so it'd be really bad. 55 quid is played.
On top,
45 quid. That's all right.
Oh, that's not bad.
I don't mind
that. Bad at all.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, that's all right. So I'm just booking a hotel. Just booking up. I'm looking forward to this.
This is kind of sad as well. Big up to this Newcastle fan. He's always in my chat, man. He's pretending to be Joel Linton. He actually played pretty well today, to be fair, even though they got slapped. He said a Newcastle fan collapsed outside the ground today and required CPR, but has passed away.
Oh, no.
Sad, man. Proper sad. That's the second person at Newcastle this season, by the way.
Yeah.
I think there was 2 weeks ago, the midweek games. I know at Watford there was
the Chelsea
and
game.
Southampton.
Yeah, in the Southampton game, yeah.
I think what it is right now is just that I think this is just obviously a health thing. There's 2 silent killers that we don't take care of: high blood pressure and cholesterol. I just say to all the men out there and women, watch your cholesterol and watch your blood pressure.
If you've got high blood pressure,
check regularly.
Stop watching Arsenal.
It's a case, but you know, I think
4 tablets a day for blood pressure.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You know, like I said, measure your blood pressure and measure your cholesterol regularly, because if you don't, you're going to have these situations where you ain't going to know what's hit you or your family.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad. Big up to 700 people.
Being brought on by Arsenal.
Yeah, especially.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing. But there's a lot of men out there who don't know they've got high blood pressure or high cholesterol.
Kenny, can I tell you this?
Yeah.
Can I tell you this? This is very serious.
Yeah.
I had an issue 8-9 years ago. And, it was a weird situation. I was early in the morning. I was driving, and everything went distant. I felt very flushed and horrible. Anyway, long story. About 4 or 5 years later, I went to the doctor, and I was sent for major tests, and it found out I had a very minor heart attack. And what had happened was my ventricle on the right side, one of the ventricles, the right side of my heart, had blocked, but it cleared itself. I had a minor heart attack, and they found out that my blood. When I saw my doctor, he took my blood pressure. He said, "Oh my God," he said, "You are in heart attack stroke syndrome." And I was, you're quite right, Kenny. People, look after yourselves, because I've been there. I now have to take 4 tablets every morning and 1 at night. And
does the wine wash it down, Jez?
Oh, wine is good. Wine is
wine is good for you, actually. A glass of wine a day is very good for you.
Yes, you've got to go walking as well. They tell you to go walking. You've got to do a lot of walking to keep the heart strong.
Yeah, you do.
And running as well, rather than because you want a situation where you clear your airwaves.
Well, that's why I gave up
around here.
7 years now. I've given up smoking. I'll tell you what. I feel so much better for it. I know I've got this vapey thing, there's no nicotine in this. I just enjoy the habit. But yeah, people, watch yourselves, because your life is short, man. And I've lost people of my age, very good friends.
Same here. Like I've had in the last few years, obviously some we know as well, and I've had people who majority of people I've lost in this calendar year, and even just after pandemic 2020, have all been heart related.
Yeah,
and majority of them have had cardiac arrest.
Yeah, it can hit the healthiest and it can hit the weakest, unfortunately. Hey, but anyway, write a note, Kenny.
Yeah.
I will see you. I will get you this time.
28th.
You still haven't officially met face to face yet, have you?
It's funny that I'm too busy having a go at journalists and telling them what to write in newspapers. That's my problem. No, seriously, they're very receptive. Like I talked to Dean Ashton, very lovely man. Jonathan
Dean Ashton comes across as a nice guy, to be fair.
Adrian Durham is so busy that you've got to talk to him. He'll put his thumbs up to you, but Adrian Durham is basically doing a show or just rehearsing.
Like this,
he's always talking to his mic.
Can't stand the bloke.
Yeah,
to be fair, he's been on about Arsenal for about 10 years.
But the thing is, the way he does it is basically like he knows how to stir the porridge.
A bit like me, Kenny. A bit like me. I'm the Adrian Durham of this channel.
True, 100%. But the thing with Adrian Durham is
you either like him or you can't stand him.
Yeah, the problem is that when Adrian Durham started becoming a pork chop, majority of us were still behind Arsenal.
Are you going to Palace Arsenal? Second
away.
Late. Are you going?
I'm looking to do that. 100% looking to go. I'm looking to do that.
Kenny will be there. Kenny's always at Palace, man. Palace is wicked, man. I do like Palace.
Palace is the best away, best London away. Much fun.
It's the best away, let alone London.
I just bought 2 tickets for that.
You know, thing with Palace away and everything. I'll tell you one thing, it's not good for your cholesterol, man. There's loads of nice takeaways. You take your pick, mate. You make sure you bring your mints with you because there's so much temptation.
You guys are such a fucking bad influence on me.
There's just done about 400 quid on this show.
I swear to God. Honestly.
Hey, listen, people, we are going to wrap this up before Jez does his bank balance. I'm booking up every single Arsenal game for the next 4 years.
No, I love the away games. I love the away games.
I said it today to Kevin Campbell. Our away fans are the best in the country. They're the best for simple reasons that any fans have had to put up with 6-0 against Chelsea, 8-2 against Man United, and still sing their hearts out and still go.
Yeah, 5 at City. Every time we go City, I've been City 4 times. I've never seen us win.
Yeah, but you know what? It's not so much that. It's that they welcome. Obviously, it was my last. Obviously, I didn't go away because of the pandemic. But the way I was received by the away fans, people who I thought didn't like me, Leicester away, best reception I got. People were kind. You're one of us. No problem whatsoever,
Leicester's
mate.
Nice, man. Leicester fans are sick.
No, I'm talking about Arsenal fans. I'm talking about our fans. Our fans.
Oh, okay. Well, Kenny, nobody's going to argue with you, are you? Let's be real.
No, but you know what? There's a lot of people I haven't seen for a long time at the football, and I say it once. Our away fans are the best in the country. No doubt about it. They're the best.
They're the loudest as well. And even if we're getting slapped, I remember we was at Anfield, right? And I was with Russ and Red Ken. Right, and we were getting hammered. That was when Salah went all the way down the pitch and scored. Yeah, when Bellerin tried to do a Cruyff turn and gave him the ball.
We
were singing "We're fucking shit" non-stop for 20 minutes. Yeah, right, and then I think when they went 2-0 up, because they went bang bang real quick. When they went 2-0 up, we were like, "We're going to win the league." I think we were singing that for about 15 minutes straight. Yeah, like proper banter, man. The away fans are like they're taken for granted, and that's why they fuck around with the fixtures, and that's why they put the games on at stupid o'clock, on a Wednesday night in Manchester.
Lee, can I just cut?
They know they're going to get there, man.
Lee, can I just cut? Christopher Ward has asked me a question.
Go on, man.
About.
Yeah, he's asked a few times. I thought I'd pin it. Go on.
All right, the Ashes. All I could say, just come home, England. Don't bother going to Melbourne and Sydney and Hobart, you're going to lose anyway. You're pathetic. You're pathetic.
Okay.
You know, not 100 in 4 innings, and you're in a situation where you're saving a game. Again, come home, mate. You can't bat, you can't bowl, and you can't field. England, you're a disgrace.
There you go. That's you put back in your box, Christopher.
No, we love cricket, meaning.
Now, Chris is sound, man. He's been here for years, man.
Right, now I'm absolutely stuffed. Because the wife just said to me, I've heard you bought a load of football tickets. Said,
how the hell did she know that?
She's watching the stream.
She's only out there. She said
she's watching the stream, lads. She's just put a comment in.
We better end the show before Jess gets in more trouble.
No, she said, how many tickets did you buy for the Arsenal Wolves? I said 2. Right, she said, I'm coming.
Yes!
Go on, Jess.
Now, my missus hasn't been to an Arsenal game in fucking hell, 25 years.
And she's never been to the Emirates.
No, she's never been to the Emirates.
Do you think she'll like it, Jez?
She said, right, let's go.
Do you think she'll like the Emirates?
No. She liked Highbury. She liked Highbury.
Who doesn't like Highbury? Even the away fans of other clubs love
I'll tell you what, even from the age of 19, I've probably only taken her to probably 15 games because she's not a football person. But she liked going to the Emirates, but we never went in the North Bank because back in the day when it was standing, my wife's quite an attractive woman.
Kenny, he's trying to redeem himself here, mate.
She's listening to the door, innit?
I didn't want to get in grabbed on the arse and all that. So we used to go in the upper west and all that. And she just said to me now, I heard what you're saying, and you bought 4 tickets, so I want to go to the one at Arsenal Wolves. I was, oh, fucking hell, really? Great.
Yeah, oh, mate, you're in trouble when you get off of here, big time.
No, I'm not in trouble.
Take her, man.
It's a joint account, isn't it?
Yeah, take her, man. It's the Christmas period. Like,
no. She look. Let's get it right. She knows my love for Arsenal. She knows my love for going to games. She knows I'm stupid, that I spend stupid money going to away games. And, all right, we're fortunate, we're okay. And she ain't got the ump about it, but she just said, she fucking stuck her head out there on the landing and said, right, if you're going to a football match on the 28th, I want to go.
Exactly. That's the best way, isn't it?
That'd be a nice thing to do.
That'd be fantastic.
You can hold hands. You can walk up the steps together.
Right. See if I can get on camera, shall I? Come on.
Come say hello.
Come on. Wait.
Go on, Jess.
Go on, Jess. Hi.
She's going to have none of it. I already know. She ain't having none of it.
All the fucking big one. Don't come on TV. Come on.
Have you tried getting Steph on here?
No chance.
Come on.
No chance. Never.
You want to give it the big one? You want to go and see Arsenal Wolves?
Adama Traore versus Benjamin White. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
We'll bottle it.
Oh, that's got
that. All right. Well, I think we better end this, mate, because I think we covered everything.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I got carried away.
That's all right.
Listen, a woman's never going to come on camera, mate, when it's a predominantly man stream. Like, there's a few women in the chat. Big up to Gracie as well. Yeah,
hi, Gracie.
And Joanne, she's always in the chat.
Yeah,
Joanne, this is predominantly men in the chat.
Joanne's in Norwich. So if anyone's going to Norwich away, make sure you look up Joanne.
Yeah, come on. Joanne's a real one, man. She's been here from day one.
Norwich. She should be around for the Norwich games.
There you go.
Also, there's a Middlesbrough fan called Jonathan Ryan who thinks you're the greatest. Lee, he likes you a lot.
Yeah, don't tell my haters.
He watches every show that you do, and there's loads of people in Australia as well who watch you. Aussie Gooner.
Oh, mate, Australia is one of my highest views, countries. Yeah, Australia, America, UK is the highest. And then it's Australia, America. They always interchange, and then Norway and India. Yeah, and I was like, right, Norway. Why am I so popular in Norway?
We've got massive support in Scandinavia. No, I think we've got massive support in Scandinavia. Another thing as well, you know, we shouldn't underestimate the fact that a lot of our cousins from abroad know the players, but they want to get to know us. You know, we're the closest. Well, basically, we give them a match day atmosphere. That they would like, and it's their dream to come and, you know, to watch us play.
But listen, anyone who watches these shows that's never been to the ground, like, it's a shame that you're not legally allowed to vlog at games, because the vlogs are where it's at, like, and people can see the reactions in the ground.
There's still a few people vlog at games. I'm sure that the father and son guys from Bolton who live in Hampstead still vlog at games, and there's a young girl, Bolton fan, who goes all over the games. She still vlogs, but she doesn't go, look at me, I'm here. A lot of fans, you know,
they don't slag the club off either, so that they get part.
Well, not too funny. They go and watch games of teams they don't support. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. As long as you're minding your own business, you're not slagging the football club off. The club will let you do it, but it is genuinely illegal to vlog at a football game.
Yeah, because the Premiership rights,
Championship, and the FA. They've got the rights to all the footage. You're not even allowed to take a picture in a football stadium in the UK.
Let's face it, rightly so. Why pay all that? Why get paid all that money? And when you've got some pork chop trying to get it on the sly, why?
Facts. And on that bombshell, people, big up to everybody who has watched live. Appreciate it. Big up to everyone who's watching on playback. We've covered absolutely everything. We've had rants. We've had arguments.
Sorry.
Jez got the stream demonetized after 5 minutes. He's then done 400 quid on football tickets. His wife's going mad. He ain't done that much, wifey. And we've good day from Australia. Big up to you, Mitchell. Always a real one on the channel. Big up to everybody. Appreciate the donations as well. But yeah, it's been a lit show, man, and we'll be back again. I'm hoping as of January we're going to try and do this twice a week.
100%. One thing is,
but
in an ideal world, you know, the Premier League have these games, fans still get a go, and I won't have to make these proposals. But I still think that we should have a Christmas break moving forward, because I think what's happening is we're going to have a connection.
Kenny just wants a couple of weeks off to chill. His wife's been saying
actually, it's not that. All right, before we go, next year, by this time next year, it's the World Cup final is going to be on the 19th of December.
Yeah,
in Qatar, and then a week later we resume our season for Boxing Day.
Oh,
so we actually get a week's break. Not quite.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Will England be there? We shall
see
find
what I'm
out.
saying now, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, listen, big up to both of you guys as well, man. Kenny Ken 1972 on Twitter and Insta. And all have a wonderful evening. I'm going to fuck off and play FIFA for a couple of hours. I need to get into Division 1 because I'm currently in Division 2.
With which team?
We're out of here. Arteta out.
Arteta out. Always out.
Fuck off.